Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to do my updated and final and last 2022 governor's election prediction. I'm not going to keep rambling on and wasting time. I'm just going to jump right into it. Let's get started. Guys, we've made it here. We're ready. We're pumped up. And let's do this, all right? So, for the Republican safe states, we have the state of Texas, okay? Uh Beto O'Rourke is not going to do as well as many people expected him to. Greg Abbott's going to win his reelection. It's going to be around a 14 to 17 point margin in the state. He's going to do very well, and I can see him back holding his third consecutive term. Also in the state of Oklahoma, Kevin Stitt is going to win his reelection here. No surprise there. Also state of Nebraska, South Dakota, Wyoming, Idaho, easy. Okay, Arkansas, Tennessee, Alabama, South Carolina. Henry McMaster is going to win here. State of South Carolina. Also, state of Ohio. This is going to be easy. Mike DeWine is going to win here against Nan Whaley. Nan Whaley is not going to do well at all. She is not going to win against a popular Mike DeWine. And there's some people that are like, yeah, Nan Whaley's going to do well. Nan Whaley's going to barely going to win against Mike DeWine. There's no way. Let me look at polls. He's like 20 to 25 points above her in the polling. He is one of my favorite current governors right now. He is amazing for the state of Ohio. He's probably one like my second favorite governor in the United States right now. And so with that being said, this guy's gonna win. Like, he's amazing. There's no way that he's gonna lose. Also, the state of Vermont and New Hampshire both have Republican governors. It's kind of interesting, but they do, and they're going to go back to the governor's position. Also, state of Alaska, Mike Dunleavy is going to win here, pretty easy there. Ranked choice voting could screw it up and make it into a likely margin, but with right now, I think that he'll have it around a safe, maybe 11, 12 point margin, something like that. So with that being said, we can go on to Democrat safe states. This is the state of California, Hawaii, the state of Connecticut, Rhode Island. Actually, that's it. That's all the safe states. So for Republican likely states, we have the state of Florida. Ron DeSantis is, Florida for likely for Florida. Ron DeSantis is going to win his re-election here. No surprise there. Charlie Crist is not going to do well. Ron DeSantis is very popular across the state, one of the most popular governors in the state. He'll do very well, and I can't wait to see him back there. Also in the state of Georgia, Brian Kemp is going to do very well in the state against Stacey Abrams. Stacey Abrams is growing more and more popular as we speak. She's not going to win any more than she did back in 2018. There's no way it's gonna happen. And I'm sorry, but you're just not gonna win. She's not gonna win. Stacey Abrams is not gonna become the next governor. Also in the state of Iowa, Kim Reynolds is gonna win her re-election here. No surprise there whatsoever. And I think that is actually all for the likely Republican states. And for the Democrat likely states, we have the state of Illinois. J.B. Pritzker is going to win his re-election here. No surprise there. Also in the state of Massachusetts, the Democrat's going to win here. I actually don't know the name of the Democrat. I didn't spend much time researching the Massachusetts gubernatorial election. I don't know the Republican. I know that he's Trump endorsed. If he wasn't Trump endorsed, he'd probably get a little bit closer. Probably about a lean margin around there or something like that, kind of like Charlie Baker. But no, he is Trump endorsed. I do know that. I just don't know his name, and I don't know the Democrat's name either. But yeah, it's going to be pretty easy for the Democrat in the state. Also in the state of Colorado, not Michael Bennett. This is Jared Polis. He will do very well in the state. He'll get it in around, I'm gonna guess, a 9 to 10 point margin in the state, just barely. My margin is 11 point higher for safe, but he'll get it around a 9 to 10 point margin in the state. So that sums up all the likely Democrat states. So moving on to the lean Republican states, the state of Wisconsin, Tim Michels is going to win Tony Evers. Tony Evers is too unpopular in the state. Tim Michels is going to do very well in the state, and I can see him going back. I can see him going to the governor's position. Also in the state of Arizona, Kari Lake is going to do phenomenal in the state. Katie Hobbs isn't even campaigning really that much. She's not having rallies or anything. She didn't even want to. She didn't even want to do a debate against Carrie Lake. Carrie Lake, I'd really want to see that debate, but it never happened because Katie Hobbs turned down the offer many times. So that just goes to show that she's scared. Scared of Carrie Lake. Polling has her up around 11 points. Carrie Lake, I think she'll get it around a 4 to 5 point margin in the state. She'll do very well though. Also in the state of Nevada, I think that Joe Lombardo is going to do very well against Steve Sisolak. Steve Sisolak is losing approval rating. He's losing in the polls, and Joe Lombardo is just a good overall candidate for the state. So with that being said, I honestly think that's all for the Republican lean states. So moving on, we can go to the Democrat lean states. This includes the state of Minnesota. This is Tim Walz against Scott Jensen. I think that Tim Walz is going to get us around a 3 to 4 point margin in the state. And moving on to the next state, we have the state of Maine. I think that Janet Mills is going to do fairly well against Paul LePage. I like Paul LePage. He's a good guy. He's a good candidate. I just don't see him winning though in the state. So with that being said, I think that Janet Mills is gonna keep her seat as governor. And for Republican tilt states, we have the state of Kansas. I think Derek Schmidt is going to do very well against Laura Kelly. Also in the state of New Mexico, Mark Ronchetti is going to do very well against the Democrat governor there. And so also in the state of Michigan, Tudor Dixon is a great candidate. Gretchen Whitmer is the incumbent. I just can see Tudor Dixon just barely pulling away here in the climate that we see right now. And, I think that she could very likely become the next governor of Michigan. Moving on to the state of Pennsylvania, I think that Doug Mastriano is going to do very well in the state, a state that is very, very good for just a lot of things. They have a lot of resources, and I think that Doug Mastriano is going to do very well against Josh Shapiro in the general election tonight. With that being said, we can move on to my home state of Maryland. Dan Cox against Wes Moore. I can just barely see Dan Cox winning. If you live in the state, if you're driving around, if you're looking left and right, there's Cox everywhere. Cox. You don't ever see really much of Moore. So, I know that's just yard signs, but I don't know. I really hope so that he wins. Wes Moore, I don't even know what our state would look like after 4 years of him. It's going to be bad. It's going to be really bad if Wes Moore gets in, but I'm being optimistic, I'm being hopeful, and I think that Dan Cox will be able to pull on top. Also, in the state of Oregon, the hot state that everyone's been talking about, Christine Drazan against Kristen Kotek. I think that Christine Drazan is going to do very well in the state. I think she'll get it around a 0.5 to 0.1 point margin, a 1 point margin. Sorry. So moving on to Democrat tilt states, we have the state of New York. This is a state that has a Democrat governor. Her name is Kathy Hochul. The Republican candidate is Lee Zeldin. He is doing phenomenal in the polling. He is narrowing up to 3 points in the polling, and I think he'll do very well. Crime is rampant, and the state is really just going downhill. So I think that he'll barely get it by like a 1 to 1.5 point margin against her. But I just don't think that he'll be able to win in the state. So with that being said, that sums up my my last and final governor's prediction. If you guys liked the video, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you guys later tonight, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So with that being said, thank you all for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you, God bless, and God bless America. Thank you.